Selva Mani is the MC for the next slot, is it? Selva?
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Okay. I think you can carry on with the second slot.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Ganesan. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sharing a slide now. Okay, can you see the screen?
No, not yet, not yet.
Now, okay, Prof?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening to ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you for joining this 3-day International Visual Workshop 2022. I feel great proud to say that this workshop has been organized by Lavender Literacy Club India, Capcom Marine Trust India, and Malaysian Industry Relation and Human Resource Association, MIRHA, Malaysia, on research methodology and research article writing. A very warm welcome to all speakers who took up their valuable time and joined us today to be a part of this workshop. We are honored to have you all with us. And with all the words, I'm extremely delighted to welcome my mentor, my advisor for the day, who is none other than our Professor Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman. Prof. Bala is our Professor of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations in Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business in University Malaysia Kelantan. And also, Prof. Bala is a research fellow on National Human Resource Center, NHRC, and also President of Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association, MIRHA, and advisor of Bursa Young Investor Club, BYC, in UMK. So as you can see, Prof. Bala have 26 years of experiences in academic sessions. So these are some of the examples and Prof. Bala that won many awards and IR research activities starting from 2005 until now. So I also welcome all the speakers and participants who have joined us today. I guarantee that the workshop will be productive and worth your precious time. Thank you very much, Prof. Bala, for this wonderful opportunity. So, Prof. Bala, you're welcome.
So my name is Nazanin. I'm so grateful to be the moderator for Prof. Bala's session. A brief introduction of mine. I am a PhD in management student at the University of Cyberjaya, and Prof. Bala is my co-supervisor. So currently I'm conducting my research on ethical leadership among Malaysian private sector, and I'm in my first year. Hi, Prof. Thanks for giving me the opportunity for being a moderator for today's session. So I'm going to start with a brief introduction of you, and then can you please tell us what were the major challenges that you faced during your PhD research?
Okay, thank you, Selva, who will be introducing me briefly. And also, Naza, I'd like to thanks to you to be my moderator, okay, for today. I hope the line will be okay. Just pray for me. All right. Technically, I like to, throughout my career, I have been trained in a different sort of school now. Okay, I was trained in the United Kingdom. I was trained in Malaysia, in USM. You know, USM is the top university in Malaysia. And I also trained in Australia and also in Europe. And you know, now actually I'm back to Malaysia, and I have a lot of PhD, master student, impact private and public universities, and I got the various students from the oldest one is a 71 years old, which is a very experienced people. The youngest one I got PhD as 24 years old. So you can have variation. I have to deal with a different kind of people. I'm very lucky to have all of you here because God gave me the opportunity, wisdom to supervise. You know, the young one, the old one, the middle, and some people in the top industry level, some people full-time student. So I went through various, and I myself, before I embarking to my, my methodology before, I'm really love labor. Labor is my primary objective, and I think I have to do something for labor. for the industrial relation for my country in Malaysia. But of course, I'm looking at the different country also, especially third world countries, like India, Bangladesh, in fact, other countries. I really want to help people. That's my primary, nothing else. All right. To help people, not easy. I must come to the academic. If I join private sector, Nazar, in the past, I can be a HR manager. My earnings 50,000 per month. My friend all earning about 40,000, 50,000. I'm driving Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and so on. But I don't choose that. I want to help people. And then how to help people? I need to do my research until my doctorate. So when I go to overseas, because I was trained in quantitative in Malaysia, everything taught quantitative, and then I say, why is happening? Why it is happening like that? In fact, I lost almost my scholarship because some of the examiners to evaluate me during my scholarship to go overseas, they rejected. Why you use only 3 companies? Then they don't understand. I very easily answer to them, sir, bro, sorry. Let me go to Australia, and I met my professor. He already just passed away, which is I'm very sad at this moment, and lost to the country, lost to the world, and definitely lost to the world. And I say, I'm going to talk to him. Later, I decide which method I'm going to. Why you want to predetermine now? You reject my, but along the way, thank God, my superior, my top management allowed me to go, especially the VC said, no, you go to Australia. So the moment I went to Australia, and then I myself go to library. I didn't defend my supervisor. Sorry, Nazar, sorry, Selva, all of you here. I never defend, I never even say single word about my supervisor all my life. Even though my supervisor, found a so tough supervisor. He's a super supervisor, and he published top 10 journal. I never say any word. I go myself to library. I did my own research. I did everything I studied. I spent 2 years, Nazar, for research methodology. You know that? 2 years. I go to library, read and read and read. I don't know where to find. Why the method, so many methods. And I start reading Gubal Lincoln, the best, my friend. All of you must understand. Gubal Lincoln is starting point to read. It's very thick book in 1985. So I read, and he introduced me one by one. What is a paradigm shift? What is positivism? And then I start looking at what is ontology, what is methodology, what's epistemology. Before that, I don't know anything. After 2 years, I done my study. I end over my thesis to my supervisor. Just said, this absolutely cannot accept it. Imagine, 2 years done. And I went always to the library, 8 to 5, I study. I never work part-time. I never have any life. You go to Australia, you say, I'm going to, no, nothing. I just want to focus. Because I want to get my PhD, then come back. 2 years. He said, no, it's not standard to PhD. At that moment, I feel that, wow, this is not enough for me. Then I take it humbly. I go back. I see my adapt sister, Dr. Levi, and she said, sister, what happened to me? He said, no, cool down. And that 2 years actually give me a strong foundation on the methodology. That's why today you can see a lot of this PhD thesis I examine is a quantitative studies, not qualitative, all quantitative. So I know what the difference between quantitative and qualitative is come from the paradigm shift, from positivism and non-positivism. Very clear. Positivism group of people, they only predict. They are not keen to see the reality in the day. But I never deny. It's actually married, demarried. People like me, non-positivism, there are group of people from Europe talking about no, go and see people. People cry. I want to see that. Because labor, industrial relation, you want to see the feeling, emotion. People crying from me. I want to listen to their voices. That's what I'm choose this paradigm. So with this introduction, a brief Nazar, that's why I end up with a qualitative, and I understand the story of people and transform the story of people in the word, no numbers, nothing, feeling, emotion, and I make it a thesis, and finally it become, a good thesis that accepted by the world-class examiners and professors on the world. So that's I would like to say to you.
Okay, so Prof, as you always tell me, quantitative means we are looking what is on top of the carpet, and qualitative means like we will remove the carpet, look at the things that are located underneath. So based on this statement, can you tell me like what were the challenges that you primarily faced once you started doing a qualitative study?
Yeah, so when I met you, I remember a few months ago last year, I met you. You was trained on quantitative, am I right? And
Yes.
you do your MBA very young age, and you're very vibrant. You want to say something, but you have to stand humbly accepted. The moment I said, Nazar, what do you mean to ethical leadership? Are you looking at the just like surface, above carpet? Above carpet, all very, you go to hotel, everything clean. You go to the hotel room, everything clean, because people don't see under the carpet. A lot of issue uncovered under the carpet only can be done through qualitative or multi-method. These two can be covered. So for me, for study about human resource, they are depending what kind of study we're going to do. Doesn't matter. The issue that you're going to cover ethical leadership. What do you mean ethical leadership? How are you going to cover? How are you going to define the ethical leadership? You should go under the carpet. I use very simple word: covering, uncovering. Okay, so when you go under the carpet, you see very dirty. People don't care under the carpet, but we care for that. And you dig, and if you found out the data come very, very useful, and finally you found, yes, Prof, ethical leadership is not just like looking at the people. Yes, maybe he's very good. He's a very good person. Yes, by ethics. But there are the things that under the carpet that uncovered. And you only can cover this through the different multiple respondent. Example, I'm the leader of the one with a big company. I may be nice to everybody. I'm very nice, but people will value some of the thing indifferently. And I start looking at that. So this example I give to you. But at the end of the day, we want to see empirical study to be done and understand, and we come up with a new theory. So like your understanding, you change paradigm shift from the quantitative, you move to qualitative. And you're going to move again to do something that is contributing to the body of knowledge, which nobody done in the past. Mostly leadership, ethical, all done through the testing the model, testing the theory. You cannot test the human. Human is human. They are full of emotion. Today I'm smiling. After 2 hours, I may be changed. That's a human. It's nature. I cannot blame anyone. I have to accept the weakness of the people. Even leader. Today, you look at the debate going on between Dato Sri Najib, all right, and Dato Sri Anwar. Before I come in, I want to see what's going on. Yeah, they are human. They make mistake, life is a mistake. But you cannot penalize them. You can't penalize them. They may be changed. Maybe Dato Sri Najib once a time, he do like that, but he did something that. So how are you going to see the leader? Are you going to see on that particular time, or are you going to see the leader throughout the life? So qualitative research will come. So that's how you change from that, and you appreciate. And you already appreciate that. You're going to do a lot of, I see, your chapter 1, chapter 2, you clear all the questions, and I see you're never bring any testing. You just want to see. And that's why you plan to go to that particular company. Maybe you want to sit with them and talk to them, have coffee with them, and you understand that. And finally, you want to say, this company has something like that. So I think research depending on the issues, on the problem, fundamental issue. What is your problem? Like Jessica here, she come all the way down to do master's. What is that meaning? Are you contributing to the nation? Your study, you may want to do something. What is the role of the union? Are you denied the role of union? And that's what you're going to do. No, union is very, very important in the country to make certain labor policy right. This we're going to study about in depth on that. So every study have a merit and demerit, but it fall down on the issues. Then you determine a method. Never method come in the cross, but your mindset's what? Are you going to help the people or not? As industrial relation expert, I like to help people. That's all. My fundamental issue is to help people, to bring good to the people, and you really see in the policy, minimum wage. People enjoying now 1,500. People go pay. I see the when I was on TV last RTM1, many people cried. Many people talk to me in Facebook and everything. They said, thank you very much. Not me, thanks to the government. How the government take the policy? Because we have empirical data. So do research not for yourself, do for the nation. That's very important for me. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you, Naga. Your research, you must enjoy your research, and you uncovered, and finally you say, this is a new theory. I'm going to, challenge the theory of ethical leadership, and this is what my finding. Something like that. That's a PhD level.
Thank you, Prof. As you mentioned, I did my bachelor and master's doing a quantitative study. And I think one of the easiest parts for me was the data collection stage, because I just had to distribute the questionnaire among the target population, wait for the response, and then do the data analysis using a software like IBM SPSS. But I believe qualitative data collection will be more challenging. I haven't reached to that stage, but I have this perception that it will be more challenging than a quantitative study. So can you tell us what were the challenges and the obstacles that you faced during your data collection?
Wow, that is a critical question. Yes, I did purely qualitative, very, very purely qualitative. People can say, qualitative very easy, just do interview. No way. I spent 3 months in each company. I'll tell you the challenge I faced. First, I like to, when you want to do research, the company never allowed to come. Luckily, you have me. I can make just phone call. You're lucky you have me. I can communicate. First thing, gatekeeper. Who's your gatekeeper? They never allow. In the beginning, I want to do multi-method. My supervisor stressed on this. Bala, you have to do multi-method. One is the survey, one is the case study that based on the qualitative. I wrote 200 letters to Malaysia. Imagine 200 from Australia. That time, no email. We send by post. I spent a lot of money for that. You know how many turn up? Only 4 only turn up. Only 4 turn up. And no, not even 4. Only 2 turn up. Okay, the rest all rejected. Why rejected? You cannot do research on the company. Very privacy. Okay, they don't allow you to do that. So how they change? I use my connection, like you use my connection. I already talked to 2 people, Nazar, for you. Dr. Anafi said, it's not easy to go there and do research because he trusts on me.
Yeah.
He knows my background. He also my PhD student. Dato company is a very highly ethical industry. I know his background. Mr. Sunny, you know that, CEO? I talked to him. Cannot enter to directly, cannot. There will be. So that's connected. But for me, not connected. Then I use my uncle. My uncle was so good staff in one of the company in Klang. He is a very respected staff. He's very loyal. Then the manager said, because of your uncle, I allowed you to come here. Otherwise, sorry. Post Malaysia also like that. I returned. I told them I want to do the case study. So they accept. And finally, Isuzu company in Sabah, because I've been working with the KMA for a long time. And my PhD I completed. I told my research finding, the company closed down. Exactly closed down. So finally, I told my supervisor, Prof, I have limitation to do survey. Can I do case study? No. Okay, proceed. And what he said, I don't want 3 case study. You need a 4 case study. Wow, very intense. I have no money. How can I come to Australia all the time? I have no money. Scholarship limited. I have to do so many planning to come to Malaysia. I stay with my sisters. I borrow my car. I still remember my family fully supported. We borrow his car. That's why until now I'm helping them. I will give how much 1,000. I cannot repay their good heart. I stay my sister place in Kuala Lumpur. I stay. So when I collect data, first day I went to the company. They look at me. Who are you? Why you come here? First question. And everybody look at me. Like I'm strangers. Why are you sitting there? What is going on? So that is a starting point of a quality researcher. You must be very, very patient. People questioning you. First thing I do, I go to see the CEO. So first thing, I go lunch with the CEO of the company. First step. The next step, I'm observing. Every day I sit down, I see how the people reacting and so on. I written down. That's secondly. Thirdly, I go different level. An example, in Post Malaysia, I went to the postman. I'm sitting on the road. I have the tarik with them. Another company, I go to the cleaning because I'm doing the cleaning services in hospital. I went to the cleaners. I talked to them. Many people crying in front of me. At that time, no minimum wage, right? No, people suffering. And they tell me, so how are you going to write the data? How are you going to analyze the data? So you need to have a notebook. You need a video and so on. One day, Nada, I like to know. I interviewed 2 hours. Last time, no handphone. We just use the recording. When I come back, 0, all gone. I like cry, and my tears come out. I call my supervisor. They say your supervisor is very important. I call my supervisor, Dr. Terry. Dr. Terry Mailot. She's a young supervisor for me. Doctor, how? I lost data. You know what he said? Don't worry, brother. This is a part of your research. You be relaxed. You go back again. You do. So that's how I challenge. So after data, I go one company to Klang. I went to the Post Malaysia. I was scolded by one of the manager. Why you go and spend time with my staff? I just be patient. And I remember that, qualitative is not that easy, challenges, but I take it easy. Then I go to another company in Sabah. I fly over. big limitation of fund. I have no money. I have to ask people around, to help me. And I went to the company. Luckily, the company is very supportive in this. So I did a 4 case study, Nazar, when I was presented in University Malaya. You see, all this I do myself. I never inform my supervisor. Of course, I inform my supervisor, I'll go there, but my initiative, I don't depend on him. Never. Why I depend on him? I never blame him. I never do him. I just do myself. And finally, I went back. University Malaya said, Bala, you're going to have a very hard time. Are you going to 4 case study? Cannot. Just do enough for you. Then I go back to Australia. I debate with my supervisor. Can I do a 3 case study? No, 4. Then they said, no, prof, I think enough for me. 3 case study. I can come up with a new theory. And my supervisor said, it's a challenge for you. You prove. You go to prove it. You do that, I'm accepted. So I take the challenge. I proven 3 case study. I give huge data. Each interview take 2 hours. You imagine I got 70 respondents. I got plus another big, and I got observation. I attend the meeting observation. I also got data from document. Too many documents I collected. I need to analyze all, one by one analyzing with my own, initiative. I reading the books. The book is my guru, Kressel, Dr. Miriam, and the pattern. All these people is my guru. In the book, I read, understand. Finally, I do one by one, and I come up with a story because they're speaking in Tamil, because I can speak very good Tamil. The Indian, they cannot speak in Malay. They want to voice out everything. And the Malay speak the Malay, the English speak English. So all this I combine together, and I have to write the story. No numbers, nothing. Naza, you tell me, is it easy life for me? You tell me now. I'm still surviving now.
No, it's not.
Still surviving now. I never tell all this story, I'm going to tell the story in the book. So life, and I very much thank you to Prof. Ray Make and Prof. Diana Kelly and Terry. They are very nice person. They are super professor in the world. I'm very proud to graduate with them. And I'm very proud to graduate these top 10 professors. I'm proud. Example in Malaysia. When you graduate, when people say Prof. Bala, everybody knows. Everybody knows in Malaysia because you go anywhere in IR, in HR, and people know about that. So I'm proud about them, but I'm very less depending on them. I never go to my supervisor, ask anything. I bring something. I remember, Nazar, when I went to see my supervisor, he was in the room, Ray Make. I only give 5 minutes for you. Bala, sorry, you just stand outside. And I already married. I'm lecturer. I'm just standing outside. I'm so respect him. Yes, prof. When I go to even their English is very tough, to adapt their slang. I be patient. Even one time, prof was commenting so many, but he's a nice man. Another factor of the program, whenever I go overseas, I will follow him. I will present, he commented. And one day he said, Bala, you are the super student I have in my life. You can do anything what you do. So it's a passion. It's a really love to do research. Research is very passion for me. Until today, I'm really passionate on the research. I'm enjoying the research because research can turn people. Today, I can see the fruit there. My PhD in qualitative, the fruit is there. I can see the policy on the minimum wage. I can see the policy on the apprentice now. We're working on apprentice. I can see many policy labor. They change Employment Act. I already put in my proposal in my thesis. Change Employment Act. Trade Union Act. They allow now trade union. Why? All this because your research. Why people come back to you? This morning, I talked to the Bank Islam, the biggest banking in Malaysia, Institute of Bank Islam. I talked to the president of the trade union. I speak to even the CEO I know, Muazzam. I talk to them, say, please do something for the workers. Do something for the employees. So I collected data. I used the base is the Global Lincoln and some scholars, and I combine together. I framework myself. I create my own online system. Everything I do online, and I write a story. And this story will evaluate by a professor in Denmark, one in Philippines. They don't know anything about me, but with my story, and I challenged my supervisor, 3 case study. When the report come, one of the best report. Actually, is AA plus report. They say no comment anything. It's up to you. And these 2 professors, #1 in the world. You can highlight them throughout the world. Ray Make, Diana Kelly, and in Australia, if you cannot go through your supervisor, you'll fail. So examination very tough. And plagiarism #1. One word you plagiarize, you're out. Just go back. So how tough is my life? So students here and the scholars here, please understand. Research is not that easy. But when you go through yourself, go to library, study 8 to 5, I will sit in the library. I'm just on to warning to Naza and Jess. You have to stay 8 to 5. Go and read, understand the method, understand the concept. Come back and debate with me. Not everything, prof, I did this, I want to pass faster. No, there's no shortcut. Shortcut is cannot be do in a doctorate or master's level. But eventually you success. So not that easy, Naza, but you can do it.
Thanks for the motivational story. Like the fact that you actually redo the interview was really interesting. Okay, so Prof, as you mentioned, like you mentioned quantitative and qualitative. How about mixed methods? I think one of the most challenging methods going to be the mixed methods because we have to combine qualitative and quantitative and do everything twice, like use IBM SPSS as the data analytics software, or use NVivo, use questionnaire or interviews as the data collection methods. So do you think this is the most challenging one?
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to explain to you. I did use NVivo. Okay. All right. It's an interesting part. When I was Australia is very good. Every semester we got a research method course. Every semester, non-stop. Keep on going. I will do that also very soon to all my students. I will initiate by myself. I'm doing that. Okay, currently full-time student. I have around 4 will coming join. Jess already joined already, and then Shalini will joining soon. Firdaus. So I got 4 students on the campus. I'll do you guys, but you have to follow. Okay, when I use NVivo actually not automation, not automation to analyze data. Okay, remember, Naza? It's not automation. NVivo only facilitate you to analyze data. That's all. NVivo. So I try, halfway I stop. Say I can't proceed. So I create my own database, also on online. I create my own analyzing data based on the other scholars did in the top journal like British Journal of Industrial Relations, Industrial Journal, and I refer back the article. I understand that. I try to do this, okay, and then I do my own. Later I share with you how I did lah. I will share to you. So that's one. So I created different colors. Okay, put the different colors, and I create how I drive the team. So the team will emerge based on the research question. So based on research question, the team will come out and I look at the data because I got the various data, one from document, one from the interview, one from direct observation. Everything I sitting on a meeting, I take note. And interview is a huge data. You recall like Giz said, huge data, and like 100 pages data for me, maybe 500 pages data collected. You must be summarized. So I use my own initiative, my own creativity. I done that first part. Okay, coming back to your question, multi-method is depending. Okay, if you do qualitative, a combination these two, what is your research problem? What are you going to do? In education sector, okay, in education sector, mostly people using multi-method. Multi-method only come in when you have your research question, 2 is looking at the qualitative and 2 looking at quantitative. Okay, in industrial research, we are not using like, like what we're using in the quantitative study, PLS, SAM. No, we're just using descriptive statistic with SPSS, very basic data. All right. So that data we analyze through, let's say we got 200 respondents. So we analyze through the descriptive data through SPSS. Fine, no problem. But we are not putting anything on the, like hypothetical, all this, no. All right. So that is how we're using multi-method. Multi-method still fall under qualitative. Nazar, fall under qualitative because it's not purely quantitative that you predict something. The danger is, I'm telling all scholars here, okay, even the young scholars, even those post-PhD, still blur, don't know where to go. I'm just warning all of you here. When you do the quantitative studies, make sure your chapter 1, 2, 3 very clear, especially theoretical framework. Dr. Madan already clearly say that theoretical framework and concept framework must be very, very clear. If you don't clear about that, you cannot proceed to the next level. All right? You cannot collect data. But qualitative, not like that. It's tentative. That's why I'm telling you, many of my students start doing your research data collection now. In fact, I told Selva, you are already second year. Why are you so worried? You are graduate. In Australia, Selva, second year student already done everything like PhD student. Why are you worried? So they are very close working. Why you all Malaysian like that? Malaysian all like, cannot lah, this lah, that lah, I'm very young lah, I cannot. Why is it like that? No. I already saw in Australia. I attended their courses in undergraduate courses, very, very advanced level. Even some of them already writing a journal article. So, Selva, you can do it. Third year, you can start research now. Why are you waiting for the final year? Do it now. And you focus until you do your PhD. Clear everything. By that years, you're 28, you already got a doctorate already. 28, you start academic life. By the 40, you become professor, the younger professor. Why? Cannot? Can. But you must be very focused. You must be very focused. You must trustworthy yourself. And most important, integrity, very, very important. Respect is very important. Good heart is very important. Everything will come in the bulk. You can success your life. In the between, you don't. So that's my question to Nazar. Is all depending your research problem. Example I give to you, education, okay? We want to see why the students so weak in academic performance while they are in secondary school. But in primary school, they're very good. They got 7 A. I know in Tamil school, cannot deny, all got 7 A's, 8 A's. When they go to secondary school, drop out a lot. And why? So we may do some survey, maybe 200 students. But in the same time, I want to talk to students. I want to talk to teachers. I want to ask why you happen like this. When you talk like that, then you go to qualitative and you do FGD. You understand now, Nazar? So both method is important. Very, very important. I don't deny quantitative. I don't deny qualitative. It's important. You're multi-method. Every method is important. How you appreciate is together with the research problem. That's why I'm saying when I look at the thesis, now I got 4 theses to go. I already finished about 100 theses all over the world. I already examined theses from India, top universities, in Australia, New Zealand, and even in Malaysia, top university, USM, UM, UPM, UUM, many universities. Even now, recently, UTHM, Multimedia University, Cyberjaya University, even so many universities I examine thesis. One thing I found that I looking at the research problem. If the research problem not clear, everything not clear. So your chapter 1 is very, very important. The new guys who are doing research, please go back and read, understand, confuse. The moment you're confused, you're a better person. Okay? You don't confuse, then you're not a better person. So a lot of people here think that, research is, no. You confuse first. You blur everything. Wow, then I found something. That's it. I go in right track. So first, my student, I will let them swim first. A good example to you, Nazar. One of my student from Dr. Atrish, you can see in the Facebook, she's praising me A to Z. She almost give up. I said, Atrish, you go and swimming first. When you cannot save yourself, then I come back. Until she was not happy with me. You know why I said like that. And then she want to make complaint. Nazar, don't do that, Nazar, to Dean. You're in trouble later on, okay? But after that, when I go in, and she said, Prof, you are the supervisor. I'm really love it. And I'm trying to help. Now today she's telling everybody. Because of why? I bring back that. So first you have to swim and swim until you don't know what to do. Then I come in to help you. When the turbulence starts very severe, then I have to take off my flight. No choice. I take from the co-pilot, I have to run the flight to landing to you. So, but in the beginning, you have to do this. You have to explore yourself. You have to appreciate quantitative method. You have to appreciate qualitative method. You appreciate all the scholars. Don't deny the scholars. And you look at your own field, like ethical leadership, why people doing this, why do that, and what I'm going to do, what the gap I'm going to fill out, why is the theory is so weak, how the conceptual theory is not uncovered, and I'm going to do that. So everything you clear on that, then you contribute. So your data collection can do it now. That's why Nazar, I said, you need to fly over as soon as possible to Kota Baru to start network with all this. You can collect data now. No need to wait. This is a beauty of the for the qualitative and multi-method.
Thank you, Prof. So what do you think are the most essential steps involved in the research design and research process in general?
What is it? What is it? Most what?
What do you think are the most essential steps involved in the research design and the research steps?
Okay, first of all, when I look at the labor issue, like example here, we got a few young scholars. You study logistics. The year 1 until year 4. You want to study again logistics? Useless. Don't go study again logistics. Your master's enemy. Why I say that? Because you already have fundamental knowledge on logistics. Now you go to master's, look at how human resource related to logistics. I give example. Many logistic companies don't know how to manage their staff. They don't know what to do, what benefit to give, like look at transport. Many lorry drivers resign because lorry driver don't know they don't know how to tackle by the HR managers. So that's a very important business in the logistics. So you have to do research on the correlation between this HR and logistics. You know logistics very well. Don't need to repeat again. You repeat again, you waste your money, waste your time. Like some of my students here, they are going to do on retailing, example, retailing of logistics. So how you bring the logistics? Yes, that is a framework. That's any. So first design, you understand the problem. You look around the problem, go to literature review, look at the worldwide, what's happening. So like maybe, I don't know, Silva want to do something. I say, you look at auto industry. What's happening in Honda? What's happening in Nissan? What happening to Isuzu? What happened to Mercedes-Benz? What happened to BMW? You study first. You found the problem. Oh yes, they are transport logistic company. Wow, Isuzu doing so well. Even downtown economy, you come and study Isuzu, what do you call Silva as a master thesis. You found that something very interesting. You do intern there. Your internship do there. Then you already got some data background. You continue. So you are expert in logistics and HR. So when people refer you, you are professor of HR and logistics. So from there, you develop the industry well, because our country need you to develop. If you end up something you do, again, logistic. So what is the meaning? The labor suffering. Logistic company, not easy. It's a very tough life. You've been to cargo, you know, Silva? You never been to cargo, you know, right? I've been to cargo. I know how tough it is. My uncle working as a logistic company. Very tough. Lorry driver, always injured. Always, you know, problem. My father was lorry driver. I know how tough my father was as a driver. He was a lorry driver trailer in the 1970s. I know my father suffering a lot. And I know when they're doing why my father passed away, because hard job, not easy. But what are you going to do? You have to do research, come up with a proper policy on logistics, like what I did for the other sectors. Same thing goes to the retailing. They're making money. But are they the happy employees? No. Why they happy? Not happy. You go to the retailing. They want to serve you or not? Okay, Jess, I'm asking question. You went to the Pantai Timur. People happy or not? Yes? Happy or not?
Yeah, a little bit happy.
No happy. You can say the face not happy. If you are happy, hey, just come. I'll show you this one's very nice fashion. Just arrive the product. They will do like that. They will say, go there. Look at yourself. So what do you mean that? You found that they're not happy. So how to make happy? We have to do research. How to do research? We have to interview them, into the management, into this. And then Pantai Timur is only base to do other things. Look at the big company, Eon, look at the other Lotus and so on, and compare your study. So like example, like what Naza doing, she look at the Post Malaysia, and she look at the small industry, medium, Isuzu, and she look at the Tuanapi small, and you compare. And what's the difference between them? And then you write down, you propose a new model. And this new model can apply to small, medium, and large company. Naza, you understand not? So everybody can learn from your study. And people say, that policy is not very clear. So you're already preparing people, young executive, so the research problem is very important. On the research design, then you go on writing what is a fundamental research question. So you have to do yourself. Don't depending on the supervisor. You confident yourself. You design, you come back to me, we discuss together. Prof, I found something interesting, really interesting. Wow, let's go have coffee now. The student do it like that, you know? Does I do like that? Let's, Prof, I already found something interesting. Like me and Anthony in Kota Baru. Wow, we're happy because we found one model. Wow, we found the theory really, matched to the entrepreneurship. And we're going to solve the problem of graduate employability. Wow. I say, wow, why? Angkasa going to take this project. And Malaysian government going to take a project to reduce employability. We already found the theory that helped. So, Mr. Anthony, he was so happy. His master completed it. And he coming back June, present. So how we found this, because we study a lot. And he was so busy man, no time, but he put effort. I'm telling you, he's a manager there. How can he do? Dato, Talib. Wow, nobody done in the world. I found books on the integrity and corporate. No way I found, nothing. I went to Dubai, the biggest bookstore in Dubai. I want to buy a book for Dato. Cannot find. Dato, I tell you, you are doing something very noble work in the world to correct all the leaders in the world. From the FIFA corruption, all the big companies, you go to something. How you manage integrity and governance? How do that? I was staying in the hotel for many years. I found how Dato theory is coming from zero to something. So very interesting. Dato inventing a theory. You all cannot do, I cannot do. He's doing that. And I really want to see the thesis come out and published by the top Oxford or Cambridge. And we're going to publish in the best journal. That's what I'm meaning. So you understand the excitement. When you do research, I'm exciting. Don't ever give up in your life. Plan for now. So those undergraduate, plan for now. Talking and go up and do. Like Nazar, you're young. You have to do more and more things. After that, you have to work with supervisor. I work with my supervisor after graduate. I never depart from him. Still working with him, still and get all the input and so him. I never say, oh, prof, I'm already professor. I never. Sorry, Nazar. I never see professor until 10 years only. I see I'm BK7. Only now I realize, hey, I'm BK7. Yeah, I'm professor. Before that, no. You can see how simple I am. People, professor, never talk in Asian. No way they will talk to student. Even undergraduate, sorry. But I changed my life. I want to help people. I want those really want to progress in their life. Just follow me. There are a lot of things to be done in our country. A lot of issues uncovered. Solve the problem. Today, I have engagement with all the big industry, from hotel management, from plantation. Everybody says something, which I think we have to do something. So how to do something? I have to train all my student everywhere doing different kind of story. So very happy that everybody doing on the big macro policies in the country. And I believe our Prime Minister will accept all our study. All right. So these are supposed we have to do in our life. So life is our time is very limited. Don't wait for the time. Today I want to do something. Do it. Less sleep. I sleep less. How many books I written, Nazar, during my only master, Mr. Bala? I wrote about 7 books, Nazar, before I go do my PhD. You think I sleep? Another thing I want to warning all of you. You say PhD no time. I written 3 books. I got evidence. I show to you. And this book is published by the Peasant Education in Australia. They want Basta Pustaka. Night time I wrote the book. Daytime I do my research. I proven. Why you say? And my book actually helped me to survive my financial problem in the Australia. Because of this, Australian University Wollongong award me special award, Dean list, and on top of that, they also sending me to Adelaide, full funded, everything paid by them. I don't need even I'm just student. After that, they're giving 1 semester free tuition fee. Dr. Bala, you helping a lot for us. You bring our name top 10, we give him free, no need to pay. You enjoy the money and bring back the money to pay back all your debt. Why do you do like that? Because when I'm in Australia, I feel like it's my home. I bring my home country, I bring Australia. So you don't isolate yourself. Oh, Cyberjaya, no, Nazar cannot. You also have to come back to UMK. You have to proud to see the people, same thing, our students here work together. So all this actually passionate. Sorry, I'm very passionate because I went through very difficult in that, but I am enjoying now to see the policy coming again, all the policies come back and many people calling to give a thought. Now my next struggle is a graduate salary. After retired, I hope graduate have a peaceful life. But who going to do? You all my students, support at the back. In UMS, student support at the back. They come with me with a flag and finally we make anyway. They are at the back of me. A lot of army at the back of me. Here, I need your support. We can do it together. And finally, graduate, get a better pay. Otherwise, graduate go to the minimum wage. They're getting the life much lower. And PhD, not necessarily you get a job. Sorry, with your PhD, no guarantee. We are going to. I was a panel in the promotion panel. Lantekan appointment of the lecturers. We rejected many PhD. We have seen CV 0, no CV inside, nothing. So follow what I'm saying. Publish a book, writing a book, and I think Nazar already giving a big task for you to write a human resource management book. I wrote 3 books. I only asked 1 book from you. If you cannot do that, I cannot blame anyone. This is a challenge for you to do. Yes, prof, I will follow you. That's what I'm going to do. So say yes only. Don't question so many. I cannot do this. So that is the ambition you should have. So, Nazar, sorry, I'm enjoying do this. That's why I bit I'm very joyful.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so Prof, as you know, like firstly, I was really afraid to do this qualitative because I was having a significant gap in the information, lack of methodological knowledge. But of course, with your help and reading your previous researches, I could a bit fulfill this gap. And now I'm still learning from you and Prof. Arasan, my other supervisor from University of Cyberjaya. But then how do we can we overcome this challenge? how can we fulfill this gap easier in a shorter way? Like, is it only reading books or previous researches or articles, or there's another ways of doing it as well?
Okay, first thing, you have to read and read and read. That's your habit must be that. Go and read the journal. Don't read books, come back later, read journal. Journal means last 5 years. What is the issue on ethical? Like example, your research. What is the main issue discussed under leadership? And what is related to the ethical? Read and read and read until you get some picture on that. Secondly, you read on methodology. Must go hand by hand. That's must you do. Don't depend on your supervisor. Supervisor only come with the picture when you are in the term. So, but supervisor always support you, okay? And I already told my student, my phone 24 hours on. Even yesterday night, I call you, remember? Almost 1 o'clock, I call you. I said, how are you? Are you okay or not? So, because I concern about your research, you're very interested, so I can do that. So, no problem. But I think that first step, you read and read. Without reading, sorry, there's no knowledge will come to you. That's very important for the research by research masters and PhD. Secondly, close work with the supervisor. Don't ever, the supervisor is the next person that going to help you throughout the way. So you need to work closely with your supervisor, and he going to detect you all this, and he's going to help you a lot of things, even network and publication. He will help you where to go. So that's the next step. Third step, prepare your proposal. Chapter 1, 2, 3. Prepare first. Don't care about what is the content. Just prepare, but no plagiarism. Okay? Prepare first. Don't wait for that. So you fix your time. 3 years. What do you do last 6 months? What do you go to next year? So you framework your Gantt chart. Don't ever just go by yourself. Okay. The same time, you have to give time for your enjoyment. Don't study. Even some of my students, we go for movie, we're having relax, we go to bay, we got the island, sitting there, nothing. It's all okay one, no problem. You can go back home, you come back, no problem. We are not stopping that. But fundamental issue is your time must be fixed. So your Gantt chart, very, very important. You go like this, yearly, monthly, and you go on the daily and weekly like that. You plan like that, what you going to do. So then easy for you to complete your study. If you don't do that, your timing is running. So basically, that's how you have to do, and that's how you have to continue your study. So basically, this design will include all these chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So first important is that your research literature review, very important, concept and theory. So what concept you're going to use, what theory you're going to use, how the theory help to understand the concept. Example, you're talking about leadership. What do you mean leadership? How leadership was driven, what the theory behind the leadership, and how reconnect to ethical, and how reconnect to the micro, medium size, and large company. So you have to do survey, not doing in Malaysia, you do the worldwide. You look at the America, you look at the Europe, you look at the Korea, Japan, and then you come to the conclusion what's happening in Malaysia, and then nothing. So your literature must be very, very strong. And then you go to methodology, very clear how you answer the question, your research question, to use right method is fine. In research, I give one keyword to you, all justification. You justify, you can go. Without justification, nothing can any. So while you are relaxing your time, write the books, write articles. While you're relaxing, go to gym. While you go to swimming. While you relax, go to shopping. I do a lot of shopping. I go buy food, buy fruits, everything. Because when I stressful, I just go to coffee shop. I just buy fruits. I just enjoy it in that. Some people doing other things. So give a gap. Sometimes I go to the beach in Wollongong. I'm sitting there. I see the bird. I see that. So my mind is working. Sometimes I drive my car to go along the, Australia got a lot of countryside. I sit down. I stop my car. I see the cow there, and I see the beautiful there. And I go to the wine. See a lot of grapes there. So I do that. I'm not any. So you have to do a lot of the activities in order to keep you track. But fundamental issue is just thesis. You're not guarantee your life in the future. That is a past. With PhD, with only thesis, sorry. You need to have all. That's why I train all my students for now. Even I challenge Selva, you're there. You write article now. You can publish your journal. You work with our team. All work team. Don't worry. Work crossover. Everybody working. I already got a research grant. I'm already passing to you all. You have to show your credibility. Don't ask me this. You have to show. I can do this. I can do that. So keep on going. And I can see some of you do that. And I'm very proud that you all doing very well. So you need to focus until you complete your study. Remember, 3 years enough for PhD. Masters, the maximum 1.5 years you have to finish. If you go beyond that, something wrong. So I give you a timeline. 1.5 years for master full-time, and 3 years full-time, 4.5 years, you complete everything. So, Selva, you're graduate 24. By 28, you're doctor already. 29, you start working. And when you start work, I would recommend, because that's why I told Nazar, your job already guaranteed. Because a dean is a supervisor. I already told a good thing about, so I will tell good thing about you. Like Jess, you have to go back to Sabah and Sarawak. Your job is waiting there. But you need to do the best thesis. You cannot sitting there, and also even our friends here, every country, you need to do your research for your country and make sure your country progress in the future. So we have to look at macro theory. You look at what's happening in the country. Don't do your research by yourself. Even you don't know general knowledge, nothing, you don't know what's happening. So how can you want to be a competent lecturer? You don't know anything what's surrounding happening, what's going on, what's the COVID, after COVID, what's going on. Country, all the world now don't know what is going to happen in their industry, with the wages, with the employee don't know what, and then now banking, yes, now I have discussion, banking going to be fully digitalization, where the workers want to go. You have to think about that. So give a proper solution. Graduate, 200,000 unemployed. Sorry, and just 200,000 employed today, I got the data. Where do you want to go? Do they want to go to criminal activities? Recently, there's one movie, Ajit Kumar. I watched the movie from Tamil Nadu. I think most of you know from India. I watched the movie. I was so shocked. All the graduates go on the other activity offense because they have no job. Every day they go, no job. So you want them to go like that? You ask yourself. So when you do research, giving, that's why I and Mr. Anthony provide solution. So we are going to put every graduate in Koperasi. And in Koperasi got two dual role. One role is they are worker, employee. Another role is they are investor. This is a theory that we found in the world. Nobody found in the world. We are the first founding this theory, and we're going to solution. We put all the graduate in cooperative. We call cooperative in English. In Malaysia, we got 3,000 or 4,000 cooperative. So at least 5,000 people can get a job in cooperative with the research done by Mr. Anthony. So I told him that you've done an excellent job. So please continue your doctorate, and for doctorate you have to apply. So you can see the relationship between research on the theoretical and the practical. That's we call theory and practice. So people will enjoying. People will come back to you. Yes, Selva, Nazar, thank you very much. You done for us. Today people cry in front of me. Minimum wage. They're happy. Start from the 200 ringgit. I remember when I start in UMS, when I start my struggle, I bring all my students at the back. We fight only 200 ringgit. Today 1,005. Imagine how jump is, and people so happy. 1,005. The tears come out on their life. They're enjoying. They can go to McD. They can go to buy ice cream. Everything can done because the salary up. So if we don't start, where you going to start? So I really want your support to do research on graduate salary. I got all the big gun behind me. I got an employer. I got an academician. I got Tan Sri Anwar. I got a lot of people down there to help us. But we need to start something in somewhere. That's why I really thank you, Dr. Frank, Dr. Regina. You all done very good job. You're bringing the 2 countries together or 3 countries together. You are proposing a lot of new finding, and I think we believe we can do better than what we have done now. So,
thank you, Prof. Okay, so my last question before we open the floor for the participants to ask their questions to you. As you mentioned, literature review is one of the most important parts in the research. So, and for example, for my topic, when I'm focusing on ethical leadership, I have to know about other leadership styles as well. I need to have the knowledge. Basically, sometimes I'll be lost in the wide literature because there are thousands of journals, books, and articles that I have to go through. So when can I know this is the stop point? Now I already got all the knowledge from the literatures. Now I can proceed to the next section.
Okay. Many people misunderstand literature. Literature review start from the chapter 1 until chapter 5. Many people misconception. They think literature only stay chapter 2. No. Literature review means anything you refer to the article, journals, whatever you do, that's already started literature review. But chapter 2 actually based to understand the finding that you're going to cover in chapter 4. Remember this, huh? Chapter 2 is actually base for you. If you don't have a theory, let's say you're talking about leadership. There are many leadership. There are leadership on entrepreneurship leadership. You got leadership on the ethical. You got leadership coaching, leadership charismatic, and many transformation. Transaction, and so many leadership. But you choose ethical. Why you choose ethical? Then you found on the conceptual debate, you found the gap in the literature, leadership research, ethical given very less emphasis in the literature that you can. So you have to prove. You don't have proof evidence. How are you going to prove? You don't write the just simple sentence. No way we can accept everything. Just again, when I trained by Professor Diana Kelly, first question they asked me, Bala, when baby is born, you got a baby, am I right? Yes. How you drive the baby? Are you ask the baby run straight away? No, you go slow. So when you write your literature review, go slow. You write one para, next para. If not important, take away the para. You go slowly, and then you need to explain to the reader that reader will follow the story. Many theses I read, I cannot follow. So I frankly said, I don't read the thesis. I say it's a major correction because I cannot understand what they are trying to say. So literature review actually start for chapter 1. Even for title already clear that your literature already covered or not covered on the title. And you move on to your chapter 1. You write general introduction. What is the topic about? Like example, your case. What is happening in the leadership around the world? Why people very concentrated on leadership? You have to refer the biggest scholar. You cannot take anyone write the leadership, you write down. No way, Nazar. You need to refer to the giant. Who is a giant? Like my area, Professor Russell Lansbury, Professor Harry Cass, Professor Thomas Kokan from MIT, from Eric Cass from Cornell, Prof. Lansbury from Sydney University, Prof. Ray Markey from Wollongong, Diana Kelly, Prof. Lee from the Korea University, Prof. Tadashi Anami from Japan, Prof. Luis Apreso, from Marta from Latin America. You see, I can name it them because I did my very in there. How many thousand, Nazar? You can see my book, 1,000 literature I gone through. 1,000, not one. So after I go through, read, and then I rearrange my idea nicely. So first I write the concept, and then followed by what is a theory to support my concept. So I go and debate. There are many theories, like in your case, what is the theory to guide you to explain the ethical leadership? And you go down, look at the global, look at the ASEAN, and then coming down to Malaysia. And you found that there's a gap. Nobody done on the qualitative research. People done on quantitative. So what? And then you provide the answer. And then to look at it, nobody done on the micro, nobody done on the medium, nobody done large company. That's another gap. And then you found the gap, and then you already got some theoretical tentative. Normally in qualitative, you write a tentative model. In quantitative, cannot. You must framework, independent, dependent variable. At the PhD level, you must have moderating or median variable. Very, very important. Without this, you're gonna. But in Malaysia, I saw a lot of people want to do quantitative. They think so easy. Yes, easy. So what? What is your finding? What is the next? What do? All blur. Don't know what to do. After PhD, don't know what to do. They didn't continue the research. Like myself, see, I continue my research again, and now I'm recruiting all my top PhD master students to continue my legacy, what I've done. They will continue. And next, another pass to your generation. You cannot stop there. You pass and pass and pass. So the knowledge will grow and go. Like Prof. Marke already passed to me. That's why he asked me, can you take over the world leading association that he was a chair for the last 30, 40 years? Why he asked me to take over? You think that easy? You think I can beat the MIT? You think I can beat Oxford, Cambridge? Industrial relation expert, they are sitting where? Oxford, Cambridge, MIT, Harvard. The theory created in IR from Harvard, from Dunlop created that. And it was against by the professor from Alan Andrew from the Oxford. And that was MIT, and that was Japan. So how? So you think I'm the no, you look at your credibility. I'm traveling all over the world to promote IR and employee participation. IR is a very sensitive issue. I'm telling you, all of you, if I go directly, I'm already in the jail now. But what I do under the carpet, under the underground. I do a lot. I influence the employers. I influence the employees. I influence the government. Finally, it becomes minimum wage policy. You have to do like that. So you not just do your research for yourself. A lot of people today, sorry, I'm telling you, for yourself, I want to be professor. So what? So what? Yes, you can get all these, professor. Definitely you get everything. But are you looking at that? Or are you looking at for the future of your student? That you train the student Today, I'm having problem with a young student. They don't follow you. They don't respect you. They just walk off like that. Why I want to follow you? Why? So how are you going to tackle this problem? It's going to be a lot of problem in the industry. I already talked to the many industry. They said, graduate now, never follow, never respect, never on. They just walk off. Everybody come 3 months, walk off. So how you want to do grow the country? So that's major challenges we face in the university. And your time going to be more severe. You're going to face this kind of student. They will come back to you, but we can solve one by one. I don't want 100 people. I only got 5 people enough under me, enough to change the policy. That 5 people, I need that at the back of me. I don't want 100,000 people with me. What do you mean that I don't want 100,000 students? I only 5, enough. We can make the changes. And sure, changes will happen. So Nazar, that's all, Nazar. I think I share everything for you. I think hopefully you not only you, many of the scholars here, I respect all of you from India, and all of you, I salute you. You have gone through very difficult, those who gone through PhD, not easy. I think Dr. Gita was here tomorrow, we telling how tough is it until she got a sick, mother passed away. I know Dr. Carmila, I still remember Dr. Carmila, husband is a top professor in UMK, and she did under me 2.5 years, she was hospitalized. She got asthma, and I told Dr. Carmila, don't worry, I'm praying for you. You will okay. During the asthma, very tough time, she come from Viva, and she finished. And she got a doctorate, and her husband is so proud, the wife. Now she become very important IPG lecturer, just next to UMK. People suffering. A lot of people lost their father and mother. I lost my dad during my master's. I lost my mom during my Form 6. I lost everything, totally lost. What can I do? I do for my mom. She is no more in this world. I have to bring my father in Parasuraman. Now all the scholars calling Parasuraman, Dr. Parasuraman, Prof. Parasuraman. My father alive, not me. I give back to them. I gave it to mom. My mom already passed away, but many moms alive now. Why? Because I take the struggle. I want to do something for the country. If I become HR manager, Nazar, today, my earning is about 50,000. Okay. I will already become in the international director of IR and HR. I leave that one. I come back to my academic life. I'm not rich, but I'm doing something for the country. So I think we have to do. I'm not a politician. I'm not minister, but I have professorship. That I think you all watched recently, yeah? I think Selva all watched the TV. You know how until now no police come back to talk to me. Until now nobody come and asking me why you say like that. Nobody. Everybody accept my idea. Even today also many people accepted. Probala, this idea very good. We'll take it into the account. The way you speak, that's very important. With the evidence base and so on. Okay, Nazar?
Thank you so much, Rob, for the informative and motivational session. It was really great to be a part of this session. So now the floor is open for the participants to ask their questions from Prof. Bala.
Yes, Probala.
Oh yeah, Dr. Kanisen.
Sorry, my camera got some problem. I on and then, but sorry, couldn't see my face. Okay, anyway, Prof, congratulations for your slot. And this session is totally different from the other sessions we have done so far, where we used to, present our paper. This is a kind of forum with the moderator, Nazanin Dara. Good as a moderator, good experience. I hope most of the participants here who are still studying their PhD, this is a good platform for you to gain your experience, to become moderator or presenter in the future, and also how to handle the session. Anyway, Prof, congratulations for all your research work. Your IR, labor, industrial relation, as you said, your theory is into practice, and that practice now become a reality, especially for labor-related issues and labor problem, especially in Malaysia, where your research done already, we can see it's successful because we already have our minimum wage now, which already announced, 1,500, right? Okay, yeah. Which the MTUC, Malaysian Trade Union Congress, is fighting for long years. Since British time, we are fighting these labor issues on wage during the colonial period in Malaysia, where the rubber plantation workers getting very low pay. If you look at the labor history before, and the struggle during that time, and it's considered, we can say, it's successful now. when we start the minimum wage in 2009, is it, Prof? The first
2013.
yeah, 2013. Then the increase. Now it's 1,500. So this is where the research plays important part, right, Prof? By the scholars,
exactly.
especially in the field of whatever field we are doing, the research that we done is successful, and now it's applied practically. We can see through your research, and same goes to yours, Nazanin. Maybe in the future, ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is a very wide topic, and when we talk about literature review, just now Prof Bala was telling, it's very important actually. Literature review. You can't rely on a few books or a few journals, or you must go explore, because then only you can find the gap. As Prof Bala said, literature review is very important to find the research gap for your studies, especially for PhD students, because you're doing something new. Okay, you're not doing other people's, you're doing something new. In order to do some new research, you need to read a lot, background studies of whatever research done, and then you come up with the gap. And thank you to Dr. Madan also just now, right? Research framework, theoretical framework, and one more, I think, research, three aspects, I think so. He was talking on theoretical, research framework, and conceptual framework. Prof, we have another slot, right?
Yeah. Just 2 minutes, Doctor.
Okay. No.
I already given awarded 2 research grant by the Ministry of Human Resource recently after tight competition. And I'm very proud to see that the trade union in Malaysia is doing very, very well. And then they already appointed the 2 grant, Sabah and also NAPW. I think you mentioned this one, NAPW. One of the key,
National Union of Plantation
they are awarded to Pahang and Terengganu, and already have discussion with the Sabah, Margaret Chin. So the government fully trusts on me, because based on my past record on the research and so on, I think the DG also I think concerned. You keep on asking me, Prof, please help this union. So we can see that during the era now, our Prime Minister very supportive to the union. All right. So the grant, actually, we are going to look at what is the perspective of the young people towards the union in Malaysia. So this research is going to be a big paradigm shift in terms of industrial relation in Malaysia. So I very proudly say that it's going to happen. Another one, we are applying MKA grant. We already done, and me and Nazar and the team. We are going to look at the flexibility, to reduce the employability among the graduates. We are going to have more flexible courses they can take within the example. They are maybe general management, but they can take accounting course. They can take. So another good news, Doctor, I want to announce here. I already talked to MKA. MKA want to ask me to come up with the labor law, industrial relation courses to sell to the industry and the student also. That is a good news. Even though I don't have bachelor degree, master, no need, no worry. After September, they asked me to come up with this. So UMK going to be champion in labor studies. I'm going to study, I'll stay here. I hope all myself. So referral is actually UMK. And our top management very, very supportive on me at the moment. And I can see that UMK going to be top in the labor study. And I know you are the one actually started in the beginning on the labor struggle in your, I read your thesis. I read the paper you wrote about labor struggle, minimum wage for the student here, all the participants here. Minimum wage started in 1940s. And that's what the Dr. Ganesan continue in the study and pass on to me. And next, we'll pass on to another person. So that's how we collaborate. And I think it's going to be very, very useful. So with that, I think I'm happy to see Dr. now. I'm getting very popular, very busy now. Actually, I have no time. My schedule is very, very tight. So I hope all the students doing well. I always time for you. Don't worry. Even in the mid or night, I will willing to help you. That's me. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. As you were mentioning, of course, labor is the core. In the country, right?
Yes.
It's very important. So as you told, as my research is on historical studies, qualitative, where I touch on one of the subtopic is on labor issues in Malaya at that time. Malaya, not Malaysia. Of course, the labor studies issues was started in the British report, in the Malaysian government report on the wages of the plantation laborers, especially, and we used to discuss about this, Prof. And last time I was telling you also, right, the struggle during 1947, 40s, especially 47, started, and it is now successful, materialized actually, where we already have minimum wage. where we don't find this minimum wage during British period plantation because they were paid according to hours and so on. So, and of course, as you know, our Prime Minister and Minister of Human Resources was in US for the past 2 days on forced labor issues. Forced labor issues. They are in Washington DC, right?
True. I supposed to be there, but never mind. I'm doing my research.
Okay, never mind. Forced labor issues. They went and for some labor issues to Washington DC, and the debate just over by former Prime Minister and former Deputy Prime Minister in the TV Awani. Okay, never mind. I think that's all, and I think I hand over to Selva Mani. You are the MC for the next slot, right?
Jessica.
Oh, Jessica.
Yes.
Jessica and aku. Okay, Jessica, hand over to you. You can continue for the third slot now. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. And also Dr. Madan.
Thanks, Dr. Ganesan and Dr. Madan, and all the participants. And
Thank you,
moderator
Prof.
and the MC.